joining me today. Today's video is about how to make a man know that you are the one and how to make him fall in love with you faster. Let's just get right into it. Do you ever get a gut feeling about someone the instant you meet them? When that happens, you know it's not because of what they said or did. It's some kind of signal you read in their facial expression, their vocal tone, or body language. Surprisingly, researchers have found that we are quite accurate with these instantaneous assessments about other people. The simple fact is, you know things about a person the second you meet them, and you react to these unspoken signals automatically. If you're good at reading people, you may not find it surprising to learn that men and women notice different kinds of signals when interacting with a potential mate. I do have a video available that explains the unusual pattern of signals men look for in a romantic relationship. This video explains the hidden signal that either repels a man or makes him irresistibly attracted to you. You can find this specific video in the link in the description box below the video you're watching right now. But go ahead and keep watching so you can learn about a particular signal you're broadcasting to men all the time, whether you know it or not. And it's probably not what you would expect. You see, there's a specific kind of body language men simply cannot ignore. It's a signal that can spark romantic feelings, or it can repel him, depending on what he's reading from your nonverbal cues. Would you like to know what it is? Okay, well, men are extremely sensitive to something in your body language that you would never expect. Women often ask for the words to make a man want them, but the secret to make someone fall in love with you goes a bit deeper. In fact, your ability to broadcast the right nonverbal message makes all the difference when it comes to attracting the kind of man you are. If you've been attracting attention from guys who fail to connect with you on a deep emotional level, I may be able to show you why. You're probably sending out just one very confusing signal without even realizing it. With the wrong signal, you're going to end up with this. You're going to end up with attention from the wrong kind of guys, the ones you aren't interested in. Initial attraction that later fades with the one guy you really wanted to attract. And a slow and painful death for the attraction and passion in your existing relationship. But with just a slight adjustment, you could be sending the right signal all the time, and you'd end up getting results more like this. Passion that intensifies the longer you're together. A guy who clearly feels protective of you. A deep feeling of private exclusivity as he lets you into his inner world. The difference can be so dramatic, and it all comes down to this one signal I'm about to show you. In order to explain this signal, think of yourself as a radio tower, okay? You are constantly broadcasting a message to the men in your life, and there's one channel he can't tune out. That's because men have emotional antennas designed specifically to detect this one kind of signal. Are you ready to find out which signal I'm talking about? Okay, here it is. He reads your nonverbal cues to find out where you rank him compared with other men. He reads your body language to see how he measures up in your eyes. Does she respect me? Or am I just her plaything? Does she look up to me in some ways? Does she value me compared to other men? Or is she just settling? Why do you think men are so sensitive to this one signal? Well, let me tell you. Oddly enough, this signal tells him how you compare him to other men, so it influences how he feels about himself whenever he's around you. Let me repeat that. This signal tells him how you compare him to other men, so it influences how he feels about himself whenever he's around you. And it's amazing how much this one signal affects his emotions. You see, in relationships, people don't tell us what we really want to know. we have to listen to what's written between the lines. This kind of listening determines how we feel about each person we meet. When it comes to romantic relationships, it tells us far more than spoken words. Now tell me this, which man would you rather commit to for life? A man who compliments your beauty but seems to have difficulty keeping his eyes off other women? Or a man who is reserved with his compliments but seems to have eyes only for you? Think about it. The truth is, no one wants to end up with someone who is just settling. Instead, you want to feel desired. Men are no different, but what makes men feel desired is very different from what makes women feel desired. For example, research shows men often confuse love and respect. A man does not want to be loved by a romantic partner unless she holds him in high regard compared with other men. Otherwise, it just feels like motherly love to them. That's not what he wants. It's not how he wants to perceive himself in his primary relationship. And that's why women often send mixed signals to the guy they're interested in without even knowing it. It happens accidentally, and I have to tell you, it's not your fault. Society has changed too fast for men and women to adapt to the rapid changes. We are just left scrambling. In nearly every culture, there used to be a clear set of expectations. Those expectations guided men and women through the process of connecting with a lifelong partner. Making more sense? Demonstrations of mutual admiration were built into the process of courtship. But those clear expectations are a thing of the past. These days, each couple has to invent their own path, dancing around unspoken expectations and feelings of uncertainty. And there's something that often gets lost in our modern version of courtship. I'm talking about the ancient art of communicating desire through the language of admiration. It's where the phrase, "you have an admirer," came from. He doesn't want you to settle. He wants to feel like you see him as the ultimate catch. Otherwise, it just deflates his ego, and with it, his passion for the relationship deflates too. He just can't picture himself with a woman who looks up to other men more than she looks up to him. But this is where things get confusing. Most women want to make their man feel loved, right? Who doesn't? But a woman's idea of loving communication is very different than a man's. How do you communicate your true feelings to a man, and why are men so sensitive to tiny signals about where you rank him compared with other men? You have to think about that. To dive a little deeper into that particular question, I put together a video on that topic. It explains the most powerful signals you can use to grab a man's attention. After watching that video, many women are surprised to learn how much control they have over a man's self-esteem. And even more surprised by how easy it is to make someone cherish you and want to invest in the relationship. Many of us have a tendency to buy gifts of the sort we would like to receive ourselves, right? I know I'm guilty of that. It can be like that with love. We try to love our partner the way we want to be loved. So you make him feel special, yet he seems unaffected by that. You speak your own native love language to him. Apparently he speaks another. But I'm here to tell you about one incredible universal method you can use to grab his attention by showing that you get what he craves most. To discover that unfair advantage with men and help him to finally see you as the one, you're going to want to click on that link in the description box below this video. You want to click that now. You want to get that unfair advantage, and it's all in that link below this video in the description box. Thank you again so much for watching. Please like this video, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It supports my channel, and it also lets YouTube know that you are interested in these videos that I am putting out there and you want to see more. Thank you and have a beautiful day.